The cruise industry is testing the waters in its return in the US. Cruise ships are currently sailing at a lower capacity, with many of these ships requiring passengers to be vaccinated. But even then, there have been COVID-19 cases detected even among vaccinated passengers. So the cruise industry has lost billions of dollars since the pandemic forced these companies to cancel voyages more than a year in the US. And during that time, they laid off thousands of employees and curtailed marketing expenses in order to stay afloat. And for now, these operators are slowly generating revenue as they take in their first passengers. But they have also budgeted hundreds of millions of dollars in additional costs for measures such as enhanced sanitation and COVID-19 testing for crew. So the cruise industry has faced some challenges as they return in the US. And the first that they'll need to tackle right away is to regain customer confidence after having various outbreaks on their ships early in the pandemic, such as the Diamond Princess outbreak in Japan. And to counter that, they would have to employ all these sanitation measures and safety protocols in order to reassure that their passengers that cruising is safe. So cruise lines have been bound to the set of guidelines and recommendations laid out by the CDC since October 2020. And one way that they're able to sail is to ensure that most of the people on board are vaccinated. So even though having at least 95% of people on board vaccinated is a quick way for the cruise lines to resume sailings in the US, it's not that straightforward because in one of the states where they operate, Florida, which is a major cruise hub, there is a law in place that prohibits businesses from asking their patrons for proof of vaccination. And these cruise lines generally want their passengers to be vaccinated. As a result, this issue has led to lawsuits involving the CDC, the state of Florida, and also one cruise operator. Some key indicators of success for cruise lines in the near term is to avoid having massive coronavirus outbreaks on board, because that was one of the main reasons why their sailings had to be halted early in the pandemic. The new coronavirus variant ultimately poses a risk to the broader hospitality sector, and that includes cruise lines, and their full effect has yet to be seen on these first few sailings. The timing for when cruise operators could return to pre-pandemic normalcy is pretty uncertain, although cruise executives have repeatedly cited pent-up demand for voyages.